You open your phone for a second, just check the time. 40 minutes later, you're still scrolling. You don't remember a single video, but you can't stop. This is not weakness of will. It's not laziness. This is an engineering solution. You didn't get sucked in by accident. You were pulled in on purpose. And today, we will figure out exactly how. Meet dopamine. It's a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger in your brain. It is often called the pleasure hormone, but this is not accurate. Dopamine is the anticipation hormone, not awards. It is the expectation of reward. Scientist Wolfram Schultz proved this back in the 90s. He worked with monkeys. I gave them juice and the brain released dopamine. Then he started giving a signal before the juice. And dopamine began to be released in response to the signal, not in response to juice. The brain was excited with anticipation, and when the juice did not come after the signal, dopamine levels dropped below normal. This is called a dopamine crash. It is he who makes you scroll further. Every new video is a signal. Might be interesting. It might be funny. There might be something important. Maybe. This word is key. Uncertainty increases dopamine more than a guaranteed reward. Your brain is literally designed for this trap. 2009, Las Vegas. A researcher named B.J. Fogg sets up a laboratory at Stanford. It's called Laboratory of Persuasive Technologies. Not comfortable, not useful, convincing. His students go to Silicon Valley, and they apply his methods. Here are 3 mechanics that make use of all platforms. The first is an endless tape. Before 2006, internet pages had a next page button. You flipped through and saw the end. This created a natural pause, the moment when you can stop. Aza Racine, a Twitter developer, has removed this button. He himself later regretted it. There is no end anymore. The feed is endless. The stop is now your problem, not the platform's. The second is random reward. This is the principle of a slot machine. Psychologist B.F. Skinner discovered it in the 50s. If the reward comes by chance, the behavior is reinforced most strongly. Not every time. Not on schedule. Sometimes. That's why you pull the handle again and again. That's why you keep scrolling. The next video might be the one, or not be there. The brain can't stop until it knows. The third is social proof. Likes, comments, reposts. You publish something and wait. Will the likes come? This is again, dopamine anticipation. Former Facebook president Sean Parker said it bluntly in 2017. I quote, "We gave you a small dose of dopamine every now and then. That's what keeps you on the platform." They knew what they were doing from the very beginning. Now let's talk about the algorithm. The word is terrible. In reality, it's just a program that has one task: to keep you as long as possible. Doesn't make you happy. Not giving you useful information. Hold. Because every minute of your attention is money. How does the algorithm study you? You watch the video to the end. Signal. You stopped in the middle. Signal. You scrolled through in a second. Signal. You liked it at 2 a.m. Signal. You watched a video about the alarm, and another, the signal. Every action you take is data. In just a few days, the algorithm knows more about your patterns than your loved ones. In 2021, a Wall Street Journal journalist conducted an experiment. He created fake TikTok accounts with different interests. One account simply stopped at one disturbing video. Within a week, the feed was completely filled with content about anxiety, depression, and loneliness. The algorithm didn't try to help. He found the pain point, and he put pressure on her. There is a term, rabbit hole. You watch one video on the topic, then something similar, then more radical, then even more radical. Every step is small, but an hour later, you're watching content that you would never have intentionally sought out. The algorithm knows. Emotional content is retained better than neutral content. Fear, anger, anxiety, disturbance. These emotions hold on stronger than joy because the brain is tuned to threats. Evolution decided so. Platforms use this. Okay, let's say you're flipping through the pages. So what? Everyone is scrolling. What's so scary about this? That's it. When was the last time you read a book for more than an hour without stopping? When was the last time you watched a movie without your phone in your hand? When was the last time you sat just like that, without content? In 2004, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. In 2024, 8, smaller than a goldfish. This is a joke that is often made, but there is a real problem behind it. The brain is a muscle. Concentration is a skill. Skills are lost without practice. Every time you switch your attention every 3 seconds, you train your brain not to concentrate. You are literally retraining him. Neuroscientist Michael Merzenich calls this negative neuroplasticity. The brain changes towards absent-mindedness. And this is not a metaphor. These are physical changes in neural connections. What does this mean in practice? Complex texts begin to seem unbearable. Long conversations are tiresome. The silence is unbearable. One thought does not have time to develop. You already want to switch. Boredom becomes physically painful. That's why you pick up your phone in the elevator, in line, in the toilet. Any second when there is no incoming stimulus, the brain literally screams, "Give me something," and it affects everything. To work, it's difficult to keep focus on a task for more than 20 minutes. On relationships, talking without a phone feels strange. Creativity, ideas require boredom, and there is no more boredom. For memory, the information does not have time to stick. You looked, but don't remember. On emotions, constant stimulation dulls sensitivity. Real life begins to seem boring. Because in real life, there is no algorithm that selects the most interesting next moment for you. Fine, we found out that everything is bad. What now? First, an honest conversation. Getting rid of your smartphone completely in 2025 is unrealistic for most people. This is not a solution, but there is something more important than prohibitions. Mindfulness. Not in a spiritual sense. Literally, you must know what is happening to you. Right now, reading this, you already know more than you did an hour ago, and this changes something. Here's what works. According to research, the first is friction. Remove apps from your home screen. Put them in a folder. Set a password. Sounds funny, but it works. The brain is lazy. The extra 2 clicks are a real barrier. Many people cut their time on social media by a third simply by doing this. The second is a gray screen. Switch your phone to black and white mode. Color is part of the attention-grabbing design. Bright icons stimulate the dopamine system. A gray screen is boring. That's how it was intended. Third, phone-free zones. Bedroom, table during meals. The first 30 minutes after waking up. This is not about a ban. It's about creating a space where the brain can breathe out. Fourth, boredom with the schedule. Seriously, neuroscientists recommend intentionally being bored. At least 10 minutes a day. No phone, no podcast, no music. Simply to be. At these moments, the brain goes into default network mode. This is where ideas are born. This is where emotional processing occurs. That's where you are with yourself. Many people don't remember the last time this happened. Fifth, long content is intentional. Read books, watch long videos, listen to long podcasts. Not because it is healthier, because this is concentration training, like in the gym, only for the brain. And the last thing is the most important. Platforms will only change under pressure. In 2023, several U.S. states filed lawsuits against Meta and TikTok. The charge is intentional creation of dependence in minors. A law on digital services has been passed in Europe. It obliges platforms to be more transparent. This is the beginning, but slow. While the laws don't work, only your choice works.